Hello, hello. Jen Lee here at the Fulfilled Feminine podcast. And I'm so excited to be with you guys today. I am starting to do video podcasts. And so there might be a little bit of a learning curve because I don't know how many of you out there do podcasts, but if you do, you'll understand when you're doing an audio podcast, you can just kind of, you know, lounge wherever. You could even close your eyes if you want to. And it's a little bit easier to just kind of veer off into yourself, into your thoughts. But when you're doing video, you're just kind of staring at your audience. But yeah, so I am really excited to be with you guys today. I have something on my heart I want to share with you. I have worked with a few different clients this week, and the same similar topic keeps coming up, and it is surrounding the mother wound. And if you have never heard that term before, just a little bit of an explanation surrounding the mother wound. It is a psychology term that is termed around whenever we are younger. You know, we all obviously come into this world, we're birthed by our mothers, and we come into this world, yeah, everyone with each their own parents, their own circumstances and situations. However, before you get here, there's already an archetype laid out for what a mom is supposed to be like, what a dad is supposed to be like. And it's like our psychology and our minds are already programmed with what we think a successful mom or dad should be. You know, and there's those the cliche, you know, the mom, she's there to nurture, she's there to protect, she is there to, you know, allow their kid to process emotions and help them to live their best life and push them forward, and all of these things that we have already in our psyche about our parents and specifically about our mom. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a template of what it is that parents can be and do in order to have their children survive and grow up and thrive in the world. And but what I've noticed and seen and even studied in the past is a lot of times we can end up just projecting, you know, what it is we want our mother to be. And a lot of times, you know, this is such a big pressure for moms. No one's perfect, and no one is meant to be perfect. We are all humans in this world living, you know, they say a spiritual being living a human experience, or your soul is living through you to have an experience of loving itself, of growing and expanding. And yeah, I really believe that we end up just projecting even our can even project our divinity, our soul. We can project our own ideas of our parents and how they did not show up for us, or how they did not, you know, do the things that we think that they should have done. And I can also simultaneously hold the fact that, sure, there are a lot of moms out there, you know, that lived under horrible circumstances and didn't have the resources, or, you know, chose a certain route in this world where they weren't able to care, provide, and there was abuse in the world and things like that. And there is. So I don't want to deny any sort of perceived negative experience that you had growing up. That's not what I'm here to do. However, I truly believe that if you are wanting to move forward in life, if you're wanting to really succeed, to grow, to move into that place where you find your validation and your self-worth inside of yourself, and you're not reaching out to have other people validate you, to have them give you permission on what you can and can't do, or in other circumstances, people are looking to their bosses or the other women in their lives to want them to be a certain way, right? And so we tend to project this lack of self-validation onto other people, and we start to filter our circumstances and situations through this lens of not being perceived as enough, or not being perceived as worthy or valuable, because there is this part of us that is still looking for that validation from our mom. And that's okay. I'm here to tell you that you can you can find that validation within yourself. And sometimes it takes just living into and feeling into that feeling that you are trying to run away from. Anytime you project that story onto other people. And I've found that, well, let me veer off for a second as well. So the mother is symbolic of the material world. So the father is a symbolic of the unseen world, the energies and the forces out there that move energy and creation through us. And the mother is the representation of how the world and the material world shows up for you, right? So again, the father is there to push you forward, to just be that assistance, and know, like, solidify that knowing that, like, everything is going to work out for you, and you can, create what it is you want to create. And the mother is here to really solidify the material world, how it shows up for you, how resources come to you, how, uh, clients, money, support through people, how that shows up for you. And so if there is a particular thing in life that is not showing up into your existence that you would like, it could be that you are holding yourself back from receiving that because you still have this unresolved feeling and emotion surrounding the ways that your mother, you know, the perception of your mother didn't show up for you. And I really, you guys that are listening today, I want you to kind of zoom back out a little bit and look at your mom through a higher lens, through the lens of the archetype of a mother, through the symbolic metaphor of a mom. And so a mom, Mother Earth, is here to be a nurturing force in your life. And if that was not the case when you were a kid, you didn't feel that way, I really would love for you to, I want to challenge you to take that projection actually back from your mom. And the reason I say that is because you're going to feel so much more empowered when you see that the power to change that story and the power to live a different life is going to come from you taking that energy back from that projection onto your mom. And so our moms did the best that they could. And truly, you will be able to live a much more peaceful, empowered life when you take that back within yourself and change that story a little bit. And so, is there a way, and I know there is, because I've done it in my own life and I've done it with clients, is there a way that you can start feeling a little bit more playful with the story of my mom didn't see me, my mom didn't hear me, and so now I don't feel like I'm enough. I feel unseen. That's just one story. Other stories, there are mothers that felt unbearable to you or felt, you know, uh, that felt smothering. There's all kinds. We all each have our own story of how we were when we grew up in our own family system. And so, can you possibly sit with that feeling whenever it comes up for you? Sit with that feeling and see where that takes you, potentially into a memory, potentially into a story. And it's really this part of you that is still wanting for you to now see yourself, to now nurture yourself, to now not put yourself in situations potentially where you're going to feel smothered, maybe to have boundaries with yourself, but you won't know until you're able to sit with it. And I do that a lot with clients. I know for myself, I had a hard time being able to feel into that by myself. And so what a coach can do is they really can sit with you and help talk you through those experiences and those memories. If that's something that you're interested in, please, reach out to me and I can help you do that. I love walking clients back home, back to their place of power and taking their power back from their own projections. If you've listened to my other podcasts, I talk about that a lot. And so this one's going to be a short one today. I just wanted to come on quickly because it is something that has come up a lot this week. And yeah, I really challenge you guys this week, whenever you are noticing a pattern of feeling a certain way and noticing that, this person reminds me of my mother, then know that you have the power to take that projection back into yourself and to start to play with the story. And that can look like, oh, there's this kinky part of me that likes to not be seen. This feels familiar. How can I play with it? How can I loosen up the story, loosen up the energy a little bit in order to know that, like, that is just a story that your ego placed upon you, that you potentially have a part of your personality now that hides because of that. And again, take that back to the point where eventually you're going to maybe get bored of that. Maybe you want to be seen. Maybe the true part of yourself, the bigger part of yourself, does actually want to be seen. Maybe there is the deeper part of you that knows that they are enough, but you can't get to that until you learn to loosen up the story that is currently playing in your life. So, with that being said, I'm going to hop off. And before I do, if you like this message that you heard today, and if it's truly helpful and beneficial, please share it, subscribe to my YouTube, or if you like to listen to it over audio, then subscribe to my podcast on Apple or Spotify. Like and subscribe, comment, check in with me. I'd love to hear from you as to how this affected you. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will check in with you next time.